Hello everyone, it's Friday afternoon. I'm Rhonda Uretsky, the owner of Riverflow Yoga, a hot yoga studio here in Lambertville, New Jersey. The studio space itself is currently closed, but our home studios, that is myself and all of the teachers of Riverflow Yoga, have opened our home studios to bring you yoga every day, 7 days a week from our homes. So thank you for joining me today. Let me get comfortable. I hope you will too. These sessions here in the middle of the day are called the Blissful Warrior. Blissful Warrior Yoga. And the name Blissful Warrior comes from my book called The Blissful Warrior. This is a book that I wrote about 3 years ago now. And it's based on my experience as a yoga teacher and mindfulness coach for the past 45 years. And my experience has been that in order to really have a life that feels good to you, there can't be a whole lot of struggle involved in it. You really have to be happy every step along the way. So the way to get to happiness, the road to happiness, has to be paved with happiness. And how do you find happiness in the midst of challenging situations? Well, my friends, we're all going to be finding that out now. Many of us are dealing with, all of us are dealing with some kind of challenges. Hopefully, those of you who are joining me today are not having the health challenge. But if you are, I welcome you, and I know that this practice will be soothing for you. Some of us are having the financial challenge, or the business challenge, or the family challenge, right? The relationships challenge. Either we're separated from our families, or we're sort of all under the same roof now, and those all have individual challenges. There are certainly world challenges that we're facing, things in the economy that will reverberate for all of us, things that we notice on the other side of the world that are upsetting to us, things that we notice in our own country that are upsetting to us. I'd like to suggest that diversity has always been a way of life. It's the way of life not only in this country, but pretty much on planet Earth. There are many, many differences in people's opinions, people's ways of living, what people think is right or wrong. And I'd like to suggest that nobody is wrong for themselves, that everybody's idea of the way to live best for themselves is valid for each of us. So maybe this idea of needing for everything to be one way or the other, and to discern which is the right way for everybody, and then put that way forth in a way that everybody has to comply. Maybe that's one of the things we can let go of now. Maybe this time of great diversity and great change is beginning to teach us little things like that. Maybe there are as many ways to live your life as there are people out there. And maybe it's really okay to let everybody live life in a way that feels right for them. Now, again, I understand that there are certain social laws and social rules for the greater good that we all adhere to at different times. And maybe we disagree on what those rules and laws should be. But let's just talk about our own personal journeys, needing to convince other people that there's one way of doing things and there's only a right way and a wrong way. Maybe we can let go of all of that for now. At least I'd like you to let go of it for the half an hour to hour that we'll be together here in the middle of the day. I would really love for you to join me in a practice where you can find your own sense of soothing yourself. Let this practice be about you, about what feels good to you, what feels soothing to you. And I'll be suggesting things as we go along that, again, in my 45 years being a yoga teacher, that I have found to be soothing for me. And I'll be sharing those with you. And if you can find some soothing in that, wonderful. So let's just take a moment here to arrive. Sounds kind of obvious, but many times in your day, you'll find that you go from one thing to the next without actually taking a moment to arrive in the present moment. This is how we get overwhelmed. One of the many ways that we get overwhelmed. Everything just sort of slides together, and we don't have any time to really arrive in the present moment. And I promise you, the present moment is where you want to be. It's where all of your power is. It's where you can take all of your action. You can't take action from the past, and you certainly can't predict the future. You can try and plan and you can try and strategize. But again, one of the things that we're beginning to realize in this very interesting time that we're living in is that sometimes plans go a completely different way. Things change so much that the plans and strategies that you thought you were going to follow are really not valid anymore. So learning to arrive in the present moment and be able to be present in that moment is really a wonderful skill. So let's start out easy, arriving in the present moment. Find a comfortable position for you to either sit or lie down. I'm going to be sitting here on the floor on my meditation cushion. And I know this looks like a classic yogi pose, and I'm not doing it to be a classic yogi. I'm doing it because after 45 years of practice, this feels good to me. So I'm sitting here on my cushion with my legs in sort of a lotus position and my arms resting, the backs of my hands resting on my knees. You can try that. You can also sit in a chair. No judgments. Sit in a chair if that feels good to you. And place both of your feet on the ground, and you'll be actually settling your nervous system. I'd like to show you this. I really like to demonstrate this because I know a lot of people are joining us for the first time. This glitter wand, see how it's moving around? It looks kind of chaotic in there. Things are shaken up. This is oftentimes how we experience our nervous system. It's one of the things that leads to overwhelming stress, where things shake us up and then they just don't calm down, because before we have a chance to settle, which notice that this glitter wand, like your nervous system, will settle if you give it some time and you give it some space and some quiet. But before that has a chance to settle, the next thing comes along that shakes you up. This is pretty much what happens when you're a slave to conditions, when you allow the conditions outside of you to control your feelings. Not your reactions. You're certainly entitled to have your reactions to whatever you experience, but to let those things, those conditions that you can't change and you can't control, to let those be in charge of your health, your nervous system, your well-being, your emotional clarity. Maybe not such a good idea. So you will encounter things that shake you up, no question about it. And sometimes those encounters will take place in your own mind. Thoughts will come up that disturb you. What if scenarios will start to haunt you. News will perhaps set them off, or maybe you just wake up thinking about them. Whatever causes this situation to happen inside of you is perfectly okay in terms of your ability to soothe yourself. So let's take a moment right now and arrive in this place of soothing. So you found a comfortable position, seated on a chair, or seated on the floor, or lying on the ground, or lying in your bed. You know, nobody's watching you right now. Go ahead and take your own comfort position. Hello, Lisa. Lisa, maybe you're sitting at your desk and working. Right? Maybe you're with your daughter. Just take a comfortable seated position and know that by taking this time for yourself, whatever activity you're going to return to for the rest of the day is going to benefit. So my arms again are at my sides, here with the backs of my hands resting on the tops of my knees. If you're sitting in a chair, you might have your palms resting on your thighs, or you can have your arms hanging off the side of the chair. If you're lying on the ground, you might try arms at your sides with your palms facing up. And if you're lying on the ground and you find your lower back feels a little twingy, you might try bending your knees and placing the soles of your feet on the ground, and then either placing your arms at your sides or placing your palms on your thighs. And now close your eyes for a moment. And I'm going to guide you through some deep breathing and some gentle encouragement to align your body. And in doing so, you'll get the benefit of having some mental clarity as well, and some emotional clarity. So, as you inhale, pull your collarbones wide apart. This is a great trick, my friends, for aligning your posture. Everybody has different ways of trying to line themselves up, their posture, having to do with shoulders and spine and hips. If you simply pull your collarbones apart, as if you're trying to make one long straight collarbone instead of two, you'll notice your shoulders will drop, your chest will become a little bit more parallel to the wall in front of you, and you won't be thrusting your chin so much or thrusting your chest. So as you inhale, pull your collarbones wide. Hear the sound of your inhale in the back of your throat. Sounds like this. Like the ocean, or like Darth Vader breathing. And as you exhale, letting it come out through your nose, hearing it in the back of your throat, again, making that big, strong sound. And as you exhale your breath, just let your chin drop a little bit. You're not trying to hang your head, but so many of us have the chin thrust that now we're just going to place your head back on your neck by letting your chin drop just a little. And inhale, collarbones wide. And as you exhale, allowing your chin to drop, and then dropping your tailbone when you're at the bottom of your exhale breath, you'll drop your tailbone down and under a little bit. And let's try 3 of these. Inhale. Collarbones widening, and exhale. Chin dropping, tailbone dropping. Maybe tuck your tailbone slightly up towards your belly. This works whether you're sitting or lying down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So, in having taken these 3 deep breaths, I would just like you to notice how you feel. I'm going to suggest to you that feeling better and soothing yourself is simple, but it's not easy. It's simple because there are so many simple soothing techniques that you already know. Breathing deep, sitting still, focusing on something that feels good when you look at it, eating something that feels good to you, soothing when you eat it, turning your attention away from a problem that you happen to be having right at this moment so that you could find some space between you and that problem. These things are simple to do. They don't require any special tools. They don't even require any special environment, although it is very lovely to come to a yoga studio where you have deliberately set aside this time for yourself. But you can make this time for yourself anytime. The challenging part is doing it. And underneath the doing it or not doing it has to be a belief that you're worth it. A lot of us struggle with this idea of being worthy of feeling good. Part of it comes from this training that we get even as young children, that working hard and pushing through and struggling and making great effort is where all the rewards are. And so we tend to spend a lot of our lives beating our heads against a brick wall to prove our worthiness. But I'm going to tell you, after all these years of maybe doing it that way and maybe not feeling so satisfied about it, noticing that your life doesn't feel so good to you, that perhaps you have lots of moments of stress or overwhelm or downright despair. And again, I'm not saying there aren't conditions outside of us right now that can cause this kind of despair. But what I'm saying is that living your life this way just doesn't feel good. And it's so ironic because living happier, living with a little bit more soothing in your life, not only gives you the life you're chasing after anyway, this life of feeling better and feeling good and feeling valuable in your life, It actually is available to you right now. Conditions outside of you do not have to improve or comply with your beliefs in any way at all. And nobody has to agree with you about what feels good to you. This is a choice that you're going to make for yourself. If you can't believe in this moment that you're worthy of it, then do it because you need to. Because going at the rate and the pace that you're going at right now simply doesn't serve you. And if you are doing it to serve others, if you're going at this breakneck speed and overwhelming yourself with tasks and things to do and people to take care of, know that your breakdown is not going to serve them either. So soothing yourself, taking care of yourself first, and I don't necessarily mean changing your diet or adding more steps on the day to your Fitbit. I mean soothing yourself, doing something that actually makes you feel good in this moment, not doing something that's going to get you to a result later. And P.S., don't most of those things just make you feel like crap now? If you're on a diet of some kind, aren't you even more aware of how much you don't like your body? If you're taking 10,000 steps a day on your Fitbit, aren't you hyper-focused on how out of shape you are and how much you need to get back to the shape that you think you should be in? This is the weird little conundrum that goes on. As we set these goals for ourselves to improve ourselves in some way in the future, it makes us feel pretty terrible about who we are right now. And what I'm suggesting is that you can accept yourself right now. Not accept in terms of, well, this is just the way it is and I can't do any better. But really, really accept that this is the reality of this moment. I am where I am. And I can still give myself permission to like myself enough to feel soothed in this moment. Not when I lose 10 pounds or when I have toned abs or when somebody gives me a promotion or an acknowledgement at work. No, right now, feeling good right now. These are the steps on the path to happiness. And every single step you take should be infused with happiness. Take a deep breath. Inhale, pull your collarbones wide. And exhale, and let your chin drop just a little so you no longer feel that head thrust. Sometimes it becomes such a natural part of the way you carry yourself to be tense that you're not even noticing the things that you're doing that are working against your soothing. So drop your chin a little. And inhale, pull the collarbones wide. Begin to feel the soothing of this stretch sensation across your chest. And as you exhale, just let your chin drop a little bit and let your tailbone drop a little bit. Hi, Lisa. I love having you with me. Great to see you. Even though I can't see you, I know you're there. And inhale. And exhale. Notice how simple breathing is, how easily you can do it. Maybe you start to notice how much your mind isn't allowing you to take pleasure in this. It's okay. You're one of many people. You have great company in terms of people who just don't give themselves permission to feel good about who they are and where they are right now. Inhale and exhale, and let your chin drop and let your tailbone drop. You know, if you're lying on the ground, you can feel as if you're dropping your lower back into someone's hand. Right? Somebody really soothing slips their hand under the small of your back, and with every exhale, you're allowing yourself to just drop down into it. And if you're sitting, then you can get that same feeling by tucking your tailbone a little bit under. That immediately makes you want to sit up straighter. And inhale the great lesson here is that as we move forward into a couple of little soothing yoga stretches, which are, by the way, extremely empowering and very, very powerful in terms of aligning and adjusting and toning your body, I'm going to suggest to you that the most powerful yoga poses are the ones that feel the most soothing. So I'm going to walk you through a few of these and give you very detailed instructions so that you can find the soothing in these poses, not the challenge, unless challenge is a soothing idea for you. Remember when we started out, I said that there are many, many different, diverse ways that people experience soothing in their lives. And if challenge actually feels like, it makes me take a big deep breath, I really look forward to that, that's like a sigh of relief, that's perfectly fine. And anything that feels like soothing to you is acceptable for you. And as I walk you through, guide you through these yoga poses, I'd like to invite you to find soothing as we go through. So I'll be instructing you on breathing and stretching and giving you permission to allow yourself to feel better right now. Not when you perfect the pose, not when you're able to actually do something more advanced. All of that will come. But to feel better right now is your total empowerment. Your entire power in your life happens right now, from right now. So doesn't it make sense to be the strongest, most empowered person that you can right now and not wait for conditions to change? So let's explore that a little bit. Let's again take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Don't worry if your mind is starting to pull you away. Mind will do that. Even so, you get to make a choice to sit still and breathe. Inhale. Collarbones wide. Exhale. Chin dropped. Okay, hopefully you have some water beside you. Water is extremely soothing, and I mean pure water, meaning not tea, not coffee, not juice. Those are other things, but pure water is the most soothing fluid that you can add to your body. So if you have some water beside you and you'd like to take a sip now, if it's been a while since you've had a sip, go ahead. And then lie down. Let's lie down on the floor. Doesn't lying down just feel soothing? Hopefully, if you're in your home office, you can close the door. And if you're in an office, some of us still are, you can close the door. It's probably true that even if you're in an office with other people and you lie down on the floor, there isn't anything that's going to look odd anymore. Everything that you do is just going to look like the new normal. So this is your chance. If you're in an office, go ahead and lie down on the floor. You can even invite some of your coworkers to join you from a 6-foot distance. I'll adjust my screen a little bit. You don't have to do that, of course. You just lie down. So lying on your back, your arms are at your sides, your palms face up, heels are touching, toes flopped apart. Bear with me one moment. And notice that if I put a pillow under my head when I'm doing lying down poses, you can actually see better. You don't need a pillow under you. It's not going to facilitate any further soothing. I'm just doing it so that you can have a better view. Or maybe you're choosing to close your eyes and just listen to these instructions. That's also fine. Do what feels soothing for you. It might be that it's been a really long time since you've asked yourself what actually feels good to me. And when you ask yourself that question and it's been a while, you might not find an answer. It might be distressing to realize that you can't identify what feels good to you. Don't worry about it. Let's not add any worry or stress on top of a worry or stress that you're experiencing. Let's just let everything be okay in this moment. In this moment, I'm giving you permission to know that everything you think or do or feel is not only okay, it's completely appropriate for where you happen to be in this moment. So as you inhale, take a deep breath, balloon your belly out. And as you exhale, allow your belly to deflate and drop down into your lower back. Feel that hand under the small of your back as you drop it down. Allow your heels to be touching and your toes flopped apart. Let your arms be somewhat of a distance away from your body and your palms face up. And inhale. And as you exhale, deflate the balloon of your belly and drop down into your lower back. And then inhale, bend your right knee and place the sole of your right foot on the ground beside your left knee. Pull your collarbones wide, tuck your chin, and as you exhale, draw your knee to your chest. Bring your arms in close to your body and pull all 10 fingertips towards that wall in front of you, and then bend your elbows. See if you can keep your elbow tips on the ground as long as you can before you have to lift them a little to clasp all 10 fingers 2 inches below the right knee. And then try pulling those elbow tips down again. Notice how soothing it feels to draw your shoulders away from your ears. Now you might feel this pulling as a bit of an ache in your body. I want to suggest to you that that ache is a sign that something is opening up. So begin to experience that ache as a positive. If there's pain, back down to the place of ache and stay there. And again, know that ache is a positive thing. So as you inhale, tuck your chin, pull your collarbones wide, elbow tips towards your hips, and as you exhale, begin to draw your right knee towards your right armpit and feel your body awakening. Feel those places in your hips, deep in your groin, on top of your right thigh, on the outer edge of your right thigh, wherever you feel this ache. This is a new opening for you, a new place where soothing can take the place of old resistance. Tightness in your body is just about resistance, and resistance is just about contraction. And contraction can be emotional, or it can be physical, it can be spiritual, but right here, right now, it doesn't matter what the tightness came from. What matters is that you can feel the soothing that you're offering to that resistance right now. Inhale. Elbows down, shoulders wide, chin down. Exhale and guide the right knee into the right armpit. You're getting this great amount of opening in your hip area, in your thighs, actually all over your body and absolutely in your nervous system as things begin to calm as you open more. And then change. And bring the sole of your right foot to the ground, slide your right leg out and bend your left knee in. Place the sole of the left foot on the ground. Bring your arms in close, pull your fingertips towards the wall in front of you, tuck your chin, and bring the left knee towards your chest, bending at the elbow tips once again. Clasp all 10 fingers, so try to get all 10 of them in there. Really web them tight. It's very satisfying to have all 10 fingers webbed. As you inhale, collarbones wide, chin down, elbows in your waist. And as you exhale, begin to guide your left knee towards your left armpit. Notice I'm moving very, very slowly. This is because slower lets you feel every incremental step. Remember those happiness steps? The way to happiness is to be happy along the way. Well, the way to opening is to feel the openings all along the way. So as you begin to feel little things waking up in your body, could be deep. I'm feeling it deep in my right groin, on top of my left thigh where the thigh meets the hip. Even feel a little bit on the outside of the left thigh. These aches, remember, you're retranslating these things. They're not problems. These are new openings in your body, and you welcome them. And as you breathe into them, you'll feel the soothing take over. Inhale. And exhale and guiding the left knee towards the left armpit. Play this little game with yourself. Can you keep your right elbow tip in your waist even as you guide your knee to the left? Feels like more of a stretch. And as I go deeper, I begin to feel this around my middle back and lower back. And again, no pain, but I absolutely feel this stretchy, achy feeling of a stretch. And it feels very soothing. And at the same time, I know that as you do this pose, physically, you're opening your hips and you're actually massaging your descending colon here on the left as you massaged your ascending colon on the right. And then change. Isn't it interesting that things that you do when you move your body that are soothing will actually have positive health implications for what's going on inside of your body? Lie here in Shavasana for one moment as you inhale, balloon your belly out. Remember, you're hearing the breath in the back of your throat. And exhale, pull your collarbones wide, deflate your belly, and drop your lower back into that soothing hand at the small of your back. And then as you inhale, bring your legs together, and then bend both knees, placing the soles of your feet to the ground. And then take these tiny little steps as you incrementally walk your heels in close to your butt. When the heels are as close as possible, you'll feel the stretch in your spine just by walking your heels in. Remember, I said simple, not easy. The part that's not easy is believing how powerful these simple steps are. But you can feel the truth of this in how soothed you feel right now. So squeeze your legs together. Feel how soothing that is. Bring your arms in close to your body. As you inhale, pull all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you. And as you exhale, squeezing your legs, bring your knees to your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees, keeping your head on the mat, and grab what you can. Could be fingertips, or wrists, or forearms, or elbow tips. And as you inhale, tuck your chin. And as you exhale, use your arms to squeeze your legs together and draw your knees to your chest. Now, as you lie here in this pose, imagine somebody has placed a board on your shins, and as you draw the knees into your chest, they're going to bear down on that board. So you'll feel your entire body compressed to the ground. Inhale, chin down, collarbones wide. Tuck your chin more, and as you exhale, squeeze your legs together, draw your knees to your chest, and feel that board compressing your shins, compressing your entire body down to the ground. This compression that you're feeling is like an internal massage. So in this pose, you're massaging your entire transverse colon. Your whole digestive system is engaged in this soothing. And you know how good it is to relax your gut? You know when your gut is clenched? We even have expressions for that. When your gut is clenched, you just don't feel right. Well, here you're giving yourself the exact opposite experience, a soothed, relaxed gut. And when your gut is soothed and relaxed, those gut feelings can actually come through a lot clearer. And you feel more mentally clear for following your gut. Interesting, isn't it, how these parts of your body work together? When your body is soothed, your mind is clearer. Gut feelings are extremely clear. And then change. So release your arms to your sides, keeping your knees bent in towards your chest, and turn your palms to the ground as you bring your arms under your body and rest your hips on your wrists or your forearms. With your arms under you, begin to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you tuck your chin towards your throat. Inhale. And exhale, flex your heels towards the wall in front of you. Flex your toes towards your face. Inhale, squeeze your legs tight. And as you exhale, keeping your legs squeezed, keeping your heels flexing forward and your toes flexing towards your face, begin to raise the soles of your feet parallel to the ceiling. So nice and slow. Rotate your knees inward on the way up so you can really feel something happening in your hips, some new alignment. And then when the soles of your feet are holding the ceiling, your legs can be straight or your knees can stay bent a little. The important thing is to keep your heels flexing towards the ceiling and your toes flexing towards your face. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades together under your body and tuck your chin. And just breathe here. There's a beautiful draining of the blood flow going in the opposite direction now from your legs, from the lower extremities in your body, really giving all those veins a nice resting place. Letting all the blood flow drain into your hips. Keep your collarbones wide. And as long as you keep pulling from your heels and flexing your toes and rotating your knees inward, you'll feel like you can hold here forever. Inhale, pull from your heels, flex your toes, tuck your chin. And as you exhale, pulling from your heels, suck your stomach in and slowly begin to lower your legs. Now you're going to go so slow, it's going to feel like your legs are being lowered from the ceiling by a little pulley system holding you at the ankles. And you're just going along for this floating kind of ride. And it will feel like floating as long as you continue to pull your heels forward and flex your toes towards your face. And keep your hands totally relaxed under your body, even as you keep squeezing your shoulder blades together, sucking your stomach in, getting your body in perfect alignment to experience the soothing. That's what all these little adjustments are about, lining your body up to receive maximum soothing from these movements, both externally, internally, for all the organs in your body. Here you're getting great core strength, soothing your lower back, and also developing a great sense of mental clarity. The slower you move, the clearer your mind becomes. And eventually those heels will touch the ground, and then you can lift your hips lightly and roll your arms out from under. Again, feeling that tingling of all the energy coming back into your arms as you lie in Shavasana. And inhale. And exhale. Pulling your collarbones wide, tucking your chin, deflating your belly, and dropping your lower back into that hand. As we go more and more into the soothing of these poses, you might notice that the space between your lower back and that hand gets less and less. Inhale. And exhale. And as you inhale, bend both knees and place the soles of your feet to the ground. And once again, I'm going to adjust a little bit. You stay right where you are. I'm going to find us some really beautiful music. I'm not even sure you guys can hear the music here, but it's very, very soothing. You just lie here and take some deep breaths. And inhale. And exhale. You might have lost a little connection there for a moment, but let's just breathe with it. Facebook Live has been a little bit strange this last couple of days, going in and out, so that's fine. This is one of those external conditions that we're not in control of, but it's perfectly okay to just be okay with it and be where you are in the present moment and maintain your mental calm and clarity and look for your place of soothing in the face of all sorts of conditions. So inhale, bend both knees, place the soles of your feet to the ground, and bring your arms out to the sides in T position. Now I am going to find a place where this pose looks like something you can follow easily. Or once again, you don't actually have to be watching me to be listening to these instructions. So your arms are now out in a T position, and you're going to inch your fingertips across the ground so you're pulling from fingertips to fingertips. And as you inhale, squeezing your legs together, tucking your chin, rise up on your toes and bring your knees to your chest. And when your knees come to your chest, tuck your chin towards your knees and squeeze your legs in tight, relaxing your feet. And as you exhale, squeeze your legs tight and drop both knees under your right armpit. Keep it slow. Remember, you want to feel every incremental stretch, every little movement here. And you're getting a beautiful, elegant movement of your spine in this nice serpentine kind of stretch. And maybe your knees will touch the ground and maybe they won't. Pull your collarbones wide apart so maybe both shoulder blades can stay on the mat and maybe they won't. Breathe here. Look for the soothing in this pose. Inhale. And as you exhale, you can allow your knees to drop more and your chin to drop more. And then inhale, squeeze your legs together and come back to center. And when you're at center, draw your knees in tight and tuck your chin towards your knees. Squeezing tight, and as you exhale, drop both knees under the left armpit, keeping your head stable, tucking your chin towards your throat. Really feel the magic of your spine, how it can move in this twisting position and feel so good. Notice how it really doesn't feel like an effort. And if it does for you in this moment, just breathe. And notice that maybe the thing that feels like an effort is your struggle to get someplace. There's no place to get to in this pose. There's just the pleasure of doing the pose. Inhale. And exhale. Allow your knees to be pulled by gravity. Let your tailbone tuck down towards the ground and then up and under a little towards your belly. Feel yourself being able to employ little moments of internal traction as you do these little adjustments that really feel wonderful. Inhale, squeeze your legs together and bring your knees back to center. And when they're back at center, bring your arms in close. Pull all 10 fingertips towards the wall in front of you again. Tuck your chin, bend your elbows, wrap your arms around your knees. See what you can grab this time. As you inhale, tucking your chin towards your throat, squeezing your legs together with your biceps. And as you exhale, drawing your knees to your chest and feeling that board on your shins compressing you all the way down. This is a beautiful hug that you're giving yourself outside your body, and it's doing so many amazing things inside your body. Toning up your transverse colon, soothing and calming your nervous system. Inhale and exhale. Press the legs together, the knees to the chest, the chin to the throat. I'd really like you to get used to this idea. When something feels good, it is good for you. These movements might feel unfamiliar, but as you breathe and follow the instructions, you're going to find the soothing in them comes very, very naturally. And that soothing is a sign that you are doing yourself a world of good here. Inhale. Exhale, release your arms, place the soles of your feet to the ground, and let your legs slide out into Shavasana. With your legs out, your heels touching, your toes flopped apart, your collarbones wide, your chin tucked down, and you are breathing. Inhale, balloon your belly out. Hear it in the back of your throat. And exhale, let your belly deflate. And drop your lower back down to the ground. Now, if your back isn't twingy, if you don't have any history of bad back physically or even in your mind, we're going to do a yoga sit-up. If you have some issues with your back, just roll yourself over and come into a seated position. But here's a yoga sit-up. So inhale, arms overhead. Pull from your fingertips, flex your heels towards the wall in front of you. Feel this intense, beautiful, soothing stretch all the way through your body as you take your breath in. And then hold your breath and sit up. Reach for the ceiling. I'm going to turn my body, you don't turn yours. Reach forward, grab your big toes with your first 2 fingers, look at the wall in front of you, double jerk and double exhale, shh, shh, and drop your forehead to your knees. All right, let's do some beautiful seated poses. So I'm going to teach you how to sit on the ground in a way, again, that feels really relaxing. So, legs out in front of you, pull from your heels. So you're going to flex those heels towards the wall in front of you as you flex your toes towards your face. Sitting up, palms on your knees, or it could be a little below your knees, wherever your arms reach to keep your arms locked at the elbows. Pull your collarbones wide, let your chin drop a little bit. Pull from your heels again, flex your toes, rotate your kneecaps inward. You can even do this a little with your hands to turn your kneecaps in, and you'll feel something different happen in the way these bones, these femur bones, set into your hips. And now you're sitting on the ground, but you feel like you're almost lifted up. Your face and your breastbone feel exactly parallel to the wall in front of you. Again, checking that your arms are locked, your collarbones are wide, your chin is dropped a little just to make sure you're not thrusting. Pulling from your heels, flexing your toes, your kneecaps turned in towards each other. Now again, it feels like you're just oh so lightly sitting on the ground. Take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Now watch how balanced you can be in your body when you feel this soothed. As you inhale, begin to raise your arms. Pull from your fingertips forward. Bring your shoulders down and back. So again, I'm going to give you a bit of a side view here. You don't have to move at all. You stay exactly where you are. Pull from your fingertips. So you're going to want to have a straight line from your shoulders to your fingers. And pull your fingertips towards the wall in front of you as you bring your shoulders down and back. You are still pulling from your heels and flexing your toes towards your face, rotating your kneecaps inward. And as you inhale, pulling, fingertips forward, shoulders down and back, heels forward, toes towards your face. And as you exhale, slowly begin to lean back. Leaning back, keeping everything locked. And as you find that place on your hip that feels good, you can begin to lift your legs. Pulling from your heels, flexing your toes. Keep your knees rotated in. Pull with your fingertips towards your toes. Shoulders down and back, chin down, and then change. Bringing your heels down. Bringing your arms back to center here. And then exhale and bring your arms back down onto either your knees or below, locking your elbows, rotating your knees inward, pulling your heels out, flexing your toes towards your face, let your chin drop, and take a breath. So again, most of us have this thing going on with our chins, very common. You just let your chin drop a little so your head can settle on your neck. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do some separate leg stretching. Bring your right leg out to the side 45 degrees. Bring the sole of your left foot to tuck up against your inner right thigh. Again, I'll move back a little so you'll have a longer view. You don't have to adjust your position at all. Inhale, arms overhead. Clasp all 10 fingers into a nice net over your head, and then pull your net to the ceiling so your arms straighten as you imagine your knuckles touching the ceiling. Turn your torso towards your outstretched leg. You're pulling from your outstretched heel, flexing your toes. And then as you exhale your breath, go ahead and throw this net of fingers over the ball of your right foot. And when that net comes to the ball of your foot, drop your chin and bring your forehead to your knee. If you have to bend your knee to get all 10 fingers in the net and on the ball of the foot, if you have to bend your knee to get your forehead to your knee, go right ahead. Forehead to knee will give you a beautiful compression. So now as you do this pose on the outer body, you're getting your hamstring to release, creating a beautiful stretch in your traps and shoulders, really facilitating a beautiful stretch in your spine. But internally, all these organs in the front part of your body, like liver, spleen, pancreas, digestive system, they're all getting a massage right now. forehead to knee. And change. As you inhale, come back up. Pull to the ceiling with this net of fingers, and let's alternate the legs using just the abdominal wall. Let's not let the hands be part of it at all. Left leg is out on the 45, sole of the right foot tucked in high. As you inhale, stretch and turn to the outstretched leg. Maybe lean it back a little, and as you exhale, now throw that net over the ball of the left foot. And again, pull your shoulders forward. You'll get that net on the ball of the foot, and if you have to bend your knee, so what? You are where you are. Drop your forehead to your knee. And let your elbow tips reach for the ground and breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And as you inhale, come back up. Now we're going to try something really fun. Bring both legs out on the 45. Bring your arms down, and with your first two fingers, hook them between your first two toes. So you're not in a split, your legs are sort of on the 45. And as you inhale, lift your chest and suck your stomach in and pull your collarbones wide, drawing your shoulders down. Pull from your heels, flex the toes towards your face, and as you exhale, just begin to move your chest forward as you ease your body down. Remember, you're looking for soothing. And sometimes when you start to feel activation, you might feel it behind your knees here. You might feel it in your lower back. Notice the difference between an activated ache and a pain. An ache is a good sign. Change your mind about it, and you'll change your feeling about it. That's the sign of something stretching and opening. That's what you want, the freedom of mobility. If anything is a sharp pain, don't come out of the pose completely. You can just back it down to the ache place. You don't even like the word ache. It just sounds so awful. It's an opening. So inhale, lift your chest. Let your chin drop. Remember, you're using your first two fingers between your big toe and second toe. Your heels are pulling out, your toes pulling towards your face. And as you exhale, lead with your breastbone. Eventually you'll come all the way down and you'll have your chest on the ground. But I promise you, there's no gold star for getting your chest on the ground. There's just this beautiful feeling that you get gold stars all the way through the pose as it soothes you on your way to wherever you're going. And change. Lead with your breastbone as you bring yourself back up. And slide your hands up towards your knees. And use your hands to bring your legs together. And again, sitting with your heels pulling forward, your toes flexed towards your face, your palms on your knees or below. Even for someone like me, I'm kind of short. I'm 5'1" if you haven't ever met me in person. So I have small legs and small arms, but to get my arms to lock, my hands will be below my knees, more on my shins. Wherever yours are is up to your anatomy. Pull your collarbones wide, let your chin drop, pull your heels forward, flex your toes towards your face, and take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to feel the soothing that you're connecting to here as you breathe. These movements become fun, enjoyable places to go, things to explore about your body as you're soothing your nervous system. Sometimes you don't even realize that you're calming your nervous system and clearing your mind as you do these poses, especially if you do these poses like a little game, like a place of soothing that you're not really having to look for. It's just there. You're uncovering it as you breathe and move with acceptance, with self-acceptance. Let's do a spinal twist. Ooh, that sounds so violent, but really it's beautiful. I'm going to call it spinal elegance. Bend your left knee so the left knee points towards your laptop or your iPhone, whatever you're watching me on. Or if this doesn't feel good to you, you can keep your left leg stretched straight out, pulling from the heel. I'll be bending. Bring your right leg up and over so that the right heel is against the left knee corner. And especially if your knee is bent, you'll need to pull your heel out so you can settle your hip on the ground. Make sure both hips are settled, right? You can check. If you can't fit any fingers under there, you know your hips are settled. And I'll take this pose on the angle for you a little bit. So both hips are down. Bring your right arm behind you. This is like your kickstand. It's flat against your spine, with the wrist facing in towards your spine and your fingers facing towards the wall behind you. Bring your left arm up by your ear on the inhale again. Bend at the elbow. Bring your elbow down around the outside of your knee and use this elbow to push your knee out of the way as you reach your hand down. And if you're sitting on a towel or mat, grab that top edge. And you're going to be pulling this forward, so you want to grab a nice handful of it. I'm actually going to slip my hand under my knee. That's where it's soothing for me. As you inhale, lift your chest. Start to move your right shoulder so far behind you, it's completely out of your line of vision in the camera. Drop your chin, and as you exhale, look over your shoulder, but don't ever let yourself find it. If you can glimpse your right shoulder, then your little game is to move the shoulder out of your line of vision. As you twist and look for your shoulder, twist, look for your shoulder, twist, and then change. Come back around to the center for a moment. Place both of your palms right here at center. Feel your spine like a spring kind of coming back. And now let's do the other side. So bending your right knee, or keep your right leg stretched straight out, perfectly fine. Left leg up and over, so the left heel is against the right knee corner. Pulling the heel out from under the left hip, settle the left hip on the ground and check. Check that both hips are really square. Sometimes it's surprising. You think your hip is down, but you check and oh, there's space there. You want to get those hips settled so they feel very soothed. Now your left arm is behind you. And again, I'm going to move on to the angle for you. So there's your kickstand arm, and your right arm is by your ear. Bend at the elbow, down around the outside of the knee. Use the elbow to push that knee out of the way as you reach down for the top edge of your towel or mat. Again, I'm going to slip my hand under my knee, and you can do it too, as long as you don't pick your knee up to get your hand under there, because that will not be soothing for your hip. As you inhale, lift your chest, pull your collarbones wide, let your chin drop, and as you exhale, start to bring that left shoulder way behind you, dropping your chin on the way to looking for your shoulder, your left shoulder as you twist, and twist, twist, and change. And come back to center for a moment and bring your legs out in front of you again. Pull your heels forward, flex your toes towards your face. Place your palms on your knees or on your shins. Lock your elbows, pull your collarbones, drop your chin, and take a breath. Inhale. And now as you exhale, you're going to slide yourself back into a lying down position so it looks like this. Palms are on your knees or your shins. You're sitting straight. Shoulders are down and back, collarbones wide, chin dropped. Your kneecaps are rotated inward as you pull your heels outward and your toes towards your face. And inhale, lock your elbows, pull your collarbones, drop your chin. And as you exhale, begin to lean back, sliding your hands over your knees, tuck your chin, feeling your hands come over your thighs, tuck your chin, pulling from your heels, flexing your toes, keeping your arms locked, tucking your chin, allowing yourself to feel every vertebra hit the ground, and then lie down, and you're in Shavasana. Arms at your sides, palms facing up, heels touch, toes flopped apart. So you're going to stay lying down, and I'm going to sit up and talk you through a beautiful final Shavasana. So you're lying still, arms at your sides, palms facing up. Heels are touching, toes flopped apart. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, drop your chin and let your collarbones go wide enough that you can feel your shoulder blades on the mat. And inhale, balloon your belly out. And exhale, drop your chin and pull your collarbones wide. Feeling that lower back drop into the hand that got slipped under the small of your back that you're relaxing into. And inhale. And exhale. So So I'm going to end here as you lie still with a passage from my book, The Blissful Warrior. When things are falling apart, let them. It's natural. Relax, and you will feel things actually begin to come together in a better way. You can feel the certainty of this as you breathe. What if is the beginning of many fear-based fairy tales of a future that may never come. Come back from that future. Be in the present moment. Because when you're spinning the story of what if, you are creating a reality based upon what you fear most. Tell a better story. Focus on what you want. Wait to feel soothed before you take action. Relax in the delicious anticipation of more to come. You are directing your life with your thoughts, your feelings, your presence, and your power. So when it looks like things are falling apart, take comfort in remembering that things aren't always what they seem. In fact, they are much, much more. So I hope from the gentle, seemingly gentle, soothing stretches that we've done today in our Blissful Warrior Yoga, you are beginning to feel the much, much more that you are, the greater power, the bigger empowerment that you have inside of yourself, despite any conditions that might be wanting to impact you from the outside. There will be conditions, and they will be changing rapidly, as they always have been, except now maybe you're more aware of it, more aware of these pervasive changes. But one thing has not changed, and that's the power that you have inside of your own self to be grounded and centered and to come forth and live this life as your best self. It is the best and most important gift you can give, not only to yourself, even though that counts. Gifting yourself is important, but certainly to everyone that will come in contact with you when you're in this empowered state. Thank you for joining me today. I love doing the Blissful Warrior Yoga with you, and I will be here every day at about this time in the middle of the day when you might need to sort of pull back from those old habitual ways of beating yourself up or pushing yourself forward to remember who you really are. Om Shanti. Peace and happiness and much, much soothing to you in your fully empowered day.